Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Thom Raley. The scenario is Fork in the Road. It was written by Raley Kruger, who is also our game master. It's available from Miskatonic Repository, and this is a one-shot. So without any further delay, let's begin our journey into the darkness. Raley?
Thank you, Thom. So, in the 1930s, the music industry was in a time of great change. After the advent of the First World War and vinyl records finally starting to outstrip phonograph records, the music industry had pivoted from selling sheet music to selling actual recordings. The small problem was that these recordings were not of the highest quality to be played on radio, which meant that local radio stations would get in local acts in order to promote and open for musicians that were touring to their little area of the world. Howell and Finch, a upstart small act, have been hired by WAGM Presque Isle, Maine, in order to open for a mysterious touring act that this record company doesn't really want to say who it is. It's a bit of a surprise. And we come into the car as Robert Howell is driving en route to this gig. And I'm going to throw to Robert. How's the drive looking?
You're muted.
It's a little bumpy, but we're gonna make it okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit bumpy. You're starting to come off of sealed roads and going onto some dirtier roads, some unsealed dirt roads especially. Coming around a bend, you come across a fork in the road. Now, at this fork in the road, it peels off to the left, it peels off to the right, and in the middle there's a small figure. And I'm going to throw over to the rest of the car to introduce themselves and discuss what they would like to do next.
Robbie, brother, what's going on up there?
Well, do you see what's up here? There's a fork in the path. What's that in the middle there?
Well, let me check here. I'll go up and take a look as well.
All right, so as you're coming closer to this figure in the road, I'd like everybody to please roll their power.
Oh.
Failure.
Failure.
That's a fail for me.
I passed. Regular success.
So, everyone who failed, you see immediately that there's a dude just sort of leaning up against his car. It looks pretty fancy, and this dude's dressed real nice. People who passed, you could swear for like 0.2 of a second, that car wasn't there. He was leaning on nothing, on air. Bit weird. But anyway.
Do you think he's having car troubles?
Now, Miss Finch, it might be nice to help people, but you'll get nowhere in this business for being late. That gentleman will be just fine.
We're way ahead of schedule.
Look, that's a very nice car. Maybe he'd be willing to throw a few dollars our way to help him.
Hey.
Well, y'all stay. If you're going to pull over, Robert, I'll get out and see.
Now, why are we pulling over? There's no need to be pulling over.
Mr. Fairbanks.
Well, we need to figure out which way we're going anyway, right? Rob, do you even know if we're going left or right?
I'm gonna have to check the map here. This is I wasn't expecting this. No,
I don't see a fork on the map. So
that's right. There was no fork on this map. You must have taken the wrong turn somewhere.
Well, let's get our bearings. We can help this gentleman out while we do that.
I wouldn't mind stretching my legs neither.
Mr. Fairbanks, you just pour yourselves another martini and go sit in the back.
I'm already ahead of you, Mr. Biblio.
Just call me Wayne. So if Robert stops is it a bus?
It's a larger touring car.
Okay.
You're all able to fit relatively comfortably. with the guitars in the back, sort of accompanying whoever is unlucky enough to be in the very back seat.
So I'll hop out while Robert is pulling the car to a stop. So the car is still moving a little bit as I hop out. And I'll walk over to the guy and I'll say, "Hey, buddy, what's up? You okay?"
Hi there. Wayne, could you please roll your spot hidden?
C8, let's see. Spot hidden is 25. Nope.
So as you're walking up to him, you see that he stops whatever he's doing with his hands and he goes and puts something in his pocket. He goes, hi there, sir. I'm terribly sorry to inconvenience you, but I have a spot of car trouble. And he offers his hand to shake it.
I'll shake his hand. Well, let me take a look.
Strong hands, sir. Do you move heavy things for a living?
Yes, in fact, I do. We're a musician group. I move all the equipment.
Oh, you're in the music industry. Well, so am I must admit. There's good times in the music industry ahead. But
Why don't
you see,
pop the hood and I'll take a look.
Yeah, I have a spot of car trouble. Please, if you know anything about fixing cars, I'd love for you to take a look. And he passes you his keys.
Okay.
When I see you pop the hood, I'll kind of look around and kind of get out of the car and go join you.
All right. So as Wayne walks up to go pop the hood of the car, I'd like everybody to roll their willpower once more.
09. That says extreme.
Brilliant.
Hard pass.
I failed this time.
Hard pass for me as well.
Hard pass. All right, so everybody but Max has passed, which is brilliant. So, Max, you're just sitting with your martini in the back of the car, and you feel this like warm sensation start to roll over you, and the inside of the car starts looking a lot brighter and brighter, and then suddenly you're just out. Everybody else, because you've passed, sitting in the car or walking over to the car or standing physically at the car, you see that as Wayne's lifted up the bonnet, this bright light has come out and it's washed over you, almost like the waves in the ocean do. And it feels warm and it feels inviting and it feels so comfortable. You open your eyes for just a second longer and you see Harry, the fella that stopped in the middle of the road, and he's smiling. He looks very proud of himself. And then you two pass out. Everybody wakes up, lying flat on their back. Their head is cushioned with some soft material. Directly above you is some sort of cable that runs back into where your head's facing, all the way down into the distance from where your toes are facing. And it goes off into the distance. Either side of you, you see there's some heavy material, but as you look properly at it, you think you can see someone else laying on the other side.
Roy, where are we?
I don't rightly know. Give me just a minute. Get the cobwebs out of my head.
Now, Wayne, what kind of bootleg moonshine was in the back of the car? 'Cause
Nothing out of the ordinary, Mr. Fairbanks.
Drinking so much.
I hadn't had a drink at all today. What happened?
Must have been the smell from that still.
Am I able
Rob?
to sit up?
Rob, are you here?
Yeah, you can sit up perfectly fine. But as you sit up, you notice that you're alone in this little corridor. And you can see that there's some sort of... This fabric is separating you from the people that are either side of you, Wayne. On your right, you can see Della, and on your left, you can see Robert.
And there's
So you can all
fabric
hear each
in
other
between
perfectly
us.
fine.
What the hell is this?
This fabric is real smooth, real nice. It's heavy.
It's okay.
Trying to lift it up, it's real heavy, but when you pull down on it, it sort of goes with your hand, almost like more's coming.
What the fuck? Pardon my language. Is there any way through it?
Cloth? Yeah. Or,
so there's a clear corridor directly forward and backwards, but this cloth sort of runs behind where you've woken up, and it runs either side of you down into this sort of corridor.
I can't see a way through. Maybe we should keep moving forward.
How bright is it in here?
Now that you think about the light, you don't see a light source wherever you are. But looking up, you see that somehow this room is lit. And it's lit in this purpley orange haze. And there's no real way you can see of it actually lighting up. There's no spotlight, there's no light bulb, there's no torch, there's no nothing. And
never seen any show lighting like that. Hey, I agree, Della. I think we should just keep going.
I'm definitely I'm a roadie. I'm used to being backstage, so I'm just going to immediately walk to where I think I can get through to everybody else. We're separated. We can't get to each other.
Yeah, you're presently separated from each other, but you can hear each other just fine.
Yeah, let me figure this out. So I'm just going to start walking.
Are you going to walk down the corridor, or are you going to walk into the fabric?
I'm going to walk down the corridor. Well, I don't find any openings in the fabric, right?
There is no opening in the fabric at all.
So I'll walk down.
I'm going to try to couldn't lift the fabric from the bottom.
Yeah, that's what I was going to try to do.
So it gives, but only a little bit. If you applied your full strength to it, maybe you could make an opening. But this is unusually heavy.
Can I just speak to someone on the other side of me and see, hey, let's try and see if we can't pull this up from the bottom. I know it wants to come down from the top, but maybe we can get underneath it.
Yeah, so Roy, directly across from you is Max. He's the next person across from you.
Mr. Fairbanks?
What is it, Roy?
Do you want to try and give me a hand with this here? I don't know. Are these curtains? I thought maybe we could try and go underneath them.
I don't know exactly what that's gonna help, Roy, but if you want to try, I'll help.
I just can't see.
If you two are lifting the same curtain together, it is a strength roll with a bonus die to whoever has the highest strength.
Okay.
I have a strength of 55, so
yeah, I think my strength is 70. Let me check very quickly here. It is 70, yes. All right. That is regular 41.
All right. So, with both of you putting all your might into lifting this curtain up, you feel it start to give, but only a little bit, and you're shaken to hold it up. And you see that you've managed to make a hole about that big from the bottom of the curtain to the floor.
I got some kind of cable holding this thing down. Mr. Fairbanks, can you get your foot under there?
I don't want it to get crushed, Roy.
All right, let it go. 1, 2, 3.
It falls without a sound, but it was ungodly heavy.
Hurt my fretting hand.
Now don't be doing that, Roy. You need that hand.
I'm all right.
The hand will get you places.
Well, thanks.
Let's just keep moving forward then. If we can't part these curtains.
Well, maybe let's keep talking so we can make sure that we're still near each other, though.
Yeah. So Wayne took off a little bit before everyone else started moving. Wayne, as you're walking along this floor, you don't really have a lot to look at other than the cable above and the floor below.
Mm-hmm.
So you see that on the floor, it's made out of wood that's sort of all one piece. But every so often, there's this metal inlay. And they get slightly higher each time, so they get taller and taller. And the further along you go, the taller they get, until you're starting to having to step physically over them properly, and then you're having to vault over them.
Well, I'm gonna stop there. Something's weird. I'm gonna head back to where they are. If I can locate them by their voices.
Yeah.
Can I assume I have a pocket knife?
You can absolutely have a pocket knife.
Yeah, I'll pull out my pocket knife and say, here, let me see if I can just, they can fix it later with the sewing team can sew it back together, whatever it is. I'm going to try to slice through it.
As you try and slice through it goes through like butter. And almost immediately, as if it's in front of your eyes, the fabric repairs itself.
What
This
the
will be a
hell?
sanity roll, please, Wayne.
I'm gonna do one of those like
80.
loud like whistles to be like, "Hey, Wayne, where you at?"
We're all right here, but I failed.
A failure is just a 1.
Okay. There's got to be folds and folds of this fabric. Hold on. Let me try this again. So what I'm going to do this time is, as I slice, I'm going to try and pull the sides apart.
Okay, so I would like to get a strength roll from you, please.
98. No.
Okay, so as you slice, you grab hold of it real fine, but you feel it physically pushing your hand closer towards where the edge is. And try as you might to fight it, it just launches itself out of your grip. Almost effortlessly.
This is the goddamnest thing I've ever seen.
Wayne, you said you went all the way down to the end. What
I started to go. There was some sort of an obstruction, a metal thing that kept getting bigger and bigger. I don't know. Can you, if I push on the cloth, can the person next to me see me push the cloth?
It moves. Like you can see each other if you're focusing on the person. So if you're physically next to them, you can see them almost like there's nothing there.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming we don't have any of like our equipment or anything.
Unless you took it with you out of the car, you do not have anything.
No. All right, well, let's move down a little ways. Let's see what these metal things are.
I always keep my harmonica in my pocket, but I don't know how that's going to help.
You're welcome to have your harmonica, Maximilian. Wayne, as you're checking out these metal things walking around, I'd like you to roll spot hidden for me, please.
Okay. 78, no luck.
Ooh. A 10.
So, Roy, as you're checking these inlays out, you start to as you're starting to have a vault over them, you see something that's sort of rolled into a corner of your little corridor. Picking it up, you see it's a light bulb. But it doesn't look like a light bulb that you would recognize. It's some fancy, twisty design that no way that fits in one of your sockets.
I found something over here, but I don't think it's any help. It looks like it's supposed to be some kind of light bulb, but it's not any kind of light bulb I've ever used before. Let me know if y'all see a socket we can put it in.
All I see is these cables up above us. About how high are they?
They're roughly above your head height. So unless you're size 30, I think it is, you can reach it with relative ease. If you're size 80, then you sort of have to push your head to the side so you're not hitting your head on it as you walk around.
Oh, well, I have to do that. I have to walk on the side of it.
Yeah. You just have to move your head to the side a little bit and you're right.
I'm gonna my hand on the cable.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
Yeah, so the cable's made of metal, and testing it, you can see that it will support your weight if you were to pull it. You can pull yourself off the ground with it and nothing happens really.
If I move it back or forth, does it move at all?
So the cable itself is stuck, but you can very easily move along it if you'd like to.
Is it a solid metal or is it a twisted like an actual cable?
It's like a braided cable, so it's like a bunch of metal twisted around.
All right. Well, let's see. You say that, you have to start climbing over stuff when you get down here towards the end. Maybe you can use the cable to help you up and over.
Yeah, so it's
Let's go look.
Pretty easy.
This is great. What the fuck are we in? Is this some kind of an amusement park or?
And the last thing I remember was us pulling over to help that man.
I told you we should have kept on schedule.
Well, is this the venue?
Well, you might have
Are
been
we
right, Mr.
backstage?
Fairbanks.
This is the strangest radio station I've ever seen. If it is,
This ain't no backstage.
Well, where are we then, Wayne?
I that guy must have done something to us. Fine kind of human being that you get out to help them and they do something to you.
Probably.
He's
He
got
seemed
us
like a nice
trapped in
man.
here.
people can see him all sorts of things. Not everybody's as nice as myself, you know.
Yeah, but we're not like in California. We're out here in the good part of the world.
Well, Wayne, when you
But I mean, don't you know, Wayne? Californians can travel out of that state. They're not
That's
trapped
true.
there.
He could have been a damn Californian.
That was a very fancy car.
when you shook his hand, do you remember what he looks like? Maybe we can
Yeah.
find that son of a bitch.
I kind of
What
remember
did he
what
say
he
his
looks
name
like.
was? What did he say his name was?
Oh shit. He did say something. Ah,
You can roll your no for a reminder.
99.
Maybe it was
Pequod.
Jamison or Henderson or Ray. I don't know. There's a whole bunch of names thrown around.
He said he was a musician too. I didn't recognize him, but seems to have made some money. Look at that car, was nice.
Maybe it wasn't his.
You think he stole it?
I don't know.
I
He was
mean-
kind of well dressed, wasn't he?
If he's gonna knock out a couple of simple country folk like us, I
Maybe
imagine.
maybe Mr. Fairbanks would have known him if he'd have seen him.
Maybe, but I mean, I
Well, come
know
on,
there was somebody else heading up to that station for the show. They were going to have somebody else playing.
Let's
The
just
same
figure
night.
this out.
I
Yeah,
think we
let's
were his opening act. Yeah, let's keep going.
All right. So moving further down your corridors, these inlays start to get higher and higher and higher. First you're stepping over them, then you're like vaulting over them, and eventually you come to a set of 3 that you physically have to climb over. Now, mechanically, it's going to work like this. You can either roll your climb or your dexterity.
Roll climb.
Rolling dexterity.
That's a failure.
Oh, 5.
28 is a hard success.
It's an extreme success. I go over them like they're
27
just
for me.
people on the stage.
How did you go, Roy?
normal success.
Normal
So
success. Okay.
45.
How bad was your failure, Della?
I was just off by 9.
Okay. So climbing up and over these barriers. Wayne, you jump it like it's nothing. Just like full vault it, no worries whatsoever. And Robert, Roy, and Max, you follow suit pretty quickly. And what you find on the other side of these barriers is all these like material curtains that have been separating you stop. And instead you're greeted with a large gaping hole that these wires continue over. Which Della is very quickly introduced to when they come vaulting over and come oh so close to just tumbling in.
What in the hell?
So Della, as you've come over and you've fallen, your hand just briefly drops into the hole. And you feel this cold sensation starting to work its way up your arm. It goes away.
It's cold. Oh, that feels terrible.
Now,
Oh.
I'll say the same thing I said to Roy, Miss Finch. Take care of those hands now.
Now we
Del-
can't go any farther and walking, but we're no longer separated.
Yeah, so you're no longer separated by these material, but you do see that the curtains that were on Della's right walking towards the hole and Roy's left walking towards the hole, these curtains do continue further around. They sort of loop around into a convergence at the end where all the cables also end up, although the cables continue going straight.
I mean, if there's some way to get up to the rafters or whatever's above us, I mean, we could perhaps continue our progression without going into this here hole.
Well, it seems to me like whoever designed this maze from hell means for us to climb along the cables to get over the hole.
That or climb around on the curtains.
About how wide?
I have a bad feeling about those curtains.
This hole is about half the distance that you've walked in diameter, and stretches roughly. So there's maybe about now, not the unit of measurement, but one of your feet. You could go foot along the edge if you really wanted to test your balance to get around it.
Because the curtain still freely comes down if you were to grab onto the curtain. Yeah. Okay.
Well, let me see if I can cross it. See what danger's on the other side.
Well, Wayne, you just be careful. I don't like carrying my guitar around too often. And I pat him on the back.
All right. So I'm going to jump up, pull my legs up, and crisscross my legs around the cable, and then use my hand to pull.
All right. So you may roll your dexterity or your climb. Either one is appropriate.
Okay. 55 out of 55.
All right.
So everyone sees Wayne full crisscross walk their way over the hole and down to the other side safely.
What do you see over there?
Yeah, do I see anything? Can I'm not too far away from them.
Where the wires go into this sort of curtain convergence, there's some funny red marks on the wall.
Like letters or characters or...
You see, now that you're looking at it closer, they're starting to move around. And they're starting to spell a sentence. I'd like you to roll your sanity because this is a weird thing to be occurring. As you see on this wall, say my name. Just a D4 for me, please, Wayne.
If I travel along the outside, could I hold onto a cable and?
Yes, can.
I'll try that.
Yeah, to the extent that using a cable or even the curtain is a bonus roll on your dexterity, a bonus die on your dexterity roll, rather.
There's some sort of writing on the wall, but it moves.
Are you still looking at the writing, Wayne?
Yeah, it says
these letters. They're melting, and they melt down, and underneath where it did say my name, it reforms into
it says say my name, and then it's just got a weird jumble of letters. Nyar Lat Hotep sounds Egyptian.
Well, hang on, I'm getting over there. I'll come look at it.
Be careful, Robbie.
As this name. From the convergence, you see this bright light, much like the one that came out of the engine before, start to fill the room. And it slowly covers Wayne. Wayne, you feel so warm and comfortable. And
what
then you
the
wake
hell?
up somewhere very, very cold. And this light is still coming towards the people that are on the other side of the hole. Robert, it gets to you next.
Oh, God. Oh,
and as
God.
you're coming across this hole, you feel your entire body go limp and you start to fall into this hole. As the light covers you, you feel, oh, so warm that it counteracts how cold this hole feels. And you two wake up somewhere very, very cold. Della, Max, and Roy, I'd like you to roll spot hidden for me.
Oh, that's a failure for me.
60 is a pass.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Fairbanks.
Roy and Della are too shocked at this light and Robert falling. But Max, you were watching Rob as he was falling and tracking from the motion of his fall. You can see down into this hole. And you see there's a figure deep in this hole that's standing up, sort of hunched over like this, facing away from you. And then you see two people lying closer to you, arms crossed like this. And that is the last thing that you see before the light takes the other three of you. It feels so warm and comforting. And then you two wake up somewhere very, very cold. And Wayne.
Are my hands like this, by chance?
Yes, your hands are like that, perchance. Wayne, as you dream, your mind opens to this reality that you had been so naive to ignore. And your mind opens to these great and terrible beings that in an instant, if you even registered to them, could snuff you out as easily as you snuff out the flame of a candle. And your Cthulhu mythos increases by 5 as you roll your sanity, please.
I'm failing every time. How many points?
A D6.
Oh, a D6 this time.
Everyone else, it's just a funny looking name, and then some light came and gotcha. Who knows? Maybe this is all a really bad dream. Wayne is taking the brunt of the sanity loss for everyone this time around.
I think we all ended up in that hole. I thought I saw that man standing above the other two down here. We all look like one of them King Tut fellows they dug up out of the sand.
Yeah, so you're not restricted. You can move your arms and sit up quite freely. And as you sit up, you see, Max, this same figure that you saw from top down before is now stood a good 20 meters away from you, head down, away from you. I'd like everyone to roll their listen, please.
Oh, 18.
92.
95.
Regular for me as well.
So, Wayne and Roy, you can hear some sort of wet smacking sound. Della, you can hear that sound is coming from that man. Looks like someone's eating a watermelon.
The man we saw earlier? Is that him?
I think
With the car?
I think so. But
Roy,
what's he
I'm
doing?
scared. What do
What's
we
he
do?
doing? What's he doing?
No. Don't worry, kids. I'll handle this. I'll start walking up to him and be like, excuse me, mister.
So inside this really cold, deep hole, the only light source is actually coming from beyond where this person is. And so they're sort of bathed in shadow as you walk closer up towards them. Max, you get a better look at this person. And you see that as they're hunched over, their shirt's a little ripped. You can see a bit of their shoulder. And their shoulder is not in a good way. Maybe they've had a motorbike accident or something, because it's all torn up and black and infected. It's not very nice.
Mister.
Man turns, and you see, as he holds one hand out, it's empty, and the lights come on. And everybody now sees this man who has some weird skin disease, with blood dripping from his lips, and a severed hand in his right hand.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
What's
going on?
Roll sanity.
43 is a pass.
That's a
I
failure.
failed. 90.
Oof.
This is just like Tennessee.
So if you pass, this is clearly a parlor trick.
Memphis.
He's got some makeup on. It's only a singular point of sanity because it is a bit shocking, but it's still like fake. If you fail, there's a D6 plus 1.
Ooh. Oh, 6.
Oh,
no.
No.
3.
Yeah, that was a 7 total for me.
Roy and Della, you're going to experience a bout of temporary insanity. The good thing is that seeing this man, you have a similar revelation to what Wayne did. There are some real fucked up things in this world that if they really wanted to, they could get rid of you just like that. But what really passes in your mind, Della, is that thing's going to try and kill Roy. And Roy, what really passes in your mind is it's really going to try and kill Della.
Yeah.
So how you react to that is your own choice from your roleplay.
Oh, I think I just absolutely clutch her as close to my breast as possible unless she physically fights me against it. I'm just patting the side of her hair. Shh, Della, it's okay, my dear.
Royce, he's gonna get us. Roy's coming for you. I think.
No, you can't talk like that. Don't talk like that, Della. Don't talk like that.
There's nothing to worry about. He's just one of them magicians. Now, Mister.
You see, as Max is trying to like calm down the other two, this man with the messed up skin and the severed hand starts to reach his left hand out towards Max. And Max, I'd like you to roll your power, please.
92.
Okay. He rolled an 11, so
oh no.
By my figure, and that's a lot less than 92.
so a lot less than 92. Max, it dawns on you that this man has a great idea for you, and you really want to do it. And you turn your head back to him, and he holds the hand out, and he says, "Eat." Now, would anyone like to do anything to stop Max taking this hand and taking a bite out of it?
I
How long is our bout of madness? Well, it depends on how long.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
I think the welfare company is my job. So
yeah.
Like...
So mechanically, Max is not directly next to this person. They're still close enough for 2 rounds of combat. So if you would like to physically restrain Max, it's going to be a fighting brawl roll.
God, I've rolled lousy.
Nothing's going to stop you from getting your teeth around that sweet, hunky piece of bacon.
Now, Mr. Fairbanks, you don't want to do that. That's nasty.
I don't know, Wayne.
So I try to grab a hold of Mr. Fairbanks' clothing, but apparently I don't get a good hold.
Oh no.
All right. One more person can try.
Yeah, I'll try to stand in front of him and be like, you don't want to mess with this guy.
All right, roll your dexterity, Rob.
Come on, Robbie.
It's not a hand sandwich.
Ooh, I just barely passed.
Yes.
Okay.
62
Rob,
out of 65.
You sneak in and sort of play block.
Robbie, what?
I rolled a 24. I'm terribly sorry. The man with the messed up hand literally just reaches over your shoulder and just offers the hand over to Max.
Oh, no, don't do it.
Max, I'd like you to roll power. This is your one chance to break out of this.
Come on, Max. Mr. Fairbanks.
All right, 62. I will spend 17 points of luck.
That's a 7 hand. What the fuck are you doing? And now I'd like everyone's dexterity because we're going to go into combat.
Oh my god.
Oh,
my dexterity is 80.
Regular.
55.
55.
55
for me.
Got a low dexterity
55 as well?
Brody.
Yeah, 55 as well.
And Wayne, you are
55.
Sorry, Robert.
65.
65. Thank you. I wrote Wayne's down in Robert's because I'm very smart. Okay, so Max, you look at his hand. Revulsion. That's your turn.
You You magician hypnotist bastard. I want to try to.
All right. And we go to Robert. It is your move. What would you like to do?
So this guy just reached over my shoulder, right?
Yes, he did.
I'm gonna try to like knock that hand away because I'm sure it like upset me.
Yes, that's free. You can just sort of go and
Yeah,
turn
I'm
around to him.
gonna knock that hand away and then kind of back away from him.
All right. He's not happy that his plan's been foiled, but he's going to try one more time. And so he's reaching towards Robert because Robert's now the closest person to him. Robert, I'd like you to roll your power, please.
I don't like this.
Oh boy,
Robert, be careful.
that's a fail.
That's not
The
good.
man has rolled a regular success. Robert, this guy's got a great idea. And he's got a delicious looking, like, it's made of bacon, obviously. He's holding it out to you.
No, dude.
On Robert's next turn, he is going to grab and bite into this if no one stops him or stops the person who is controlling him.
Raley, do something.
Robert on the person. We're up to Wayne. What would you like to do?
I'm going to punch this thing in the face.
Roll your fighting brawl. He is going to fight back.
Ah,
Come on, Wayne.
94.
Oh, no.
God,
Right.
I'm the biggest, strongest guy in here, and I can't.
He sort of ducks out of the way and comes back to like clock you, but he just like grazes the underside of your ear to the point that it doesn't even hurt. Like he's missed you, but only just. All right, Della, what would you like to do?
I'm trying to drag Roy away. We've got to get out of here. He's going to try to get you, Roy. He's going to try to get all of us. We need to leave. And I guess
Right.
looking for an exit, something.
You see that on the other side of this dude is this sort of like rectangular beam of light that's like blocked a little bit. So it's a rectangle that's not filled in of light, and that's what was lighting him up before.
I'm walking toward that and trying to drag Roy with me.
Brilliant.
Allows
Roy,
it.
what would you like to do? Are you like going with Della, or are you?
Robbie's my brother. I don't think I want him to eat that severed hand. So I reckon I don't want to upset Della. This is an opportunity for us to maybe rekindle things and feel like we're having real conversations, but at the same time, so maybe I let her pull me, but as I'm going by him, maybe I try and just swat the hand out of his hand. Can I do that? Make him fumble?
Okay. This will be a fighting brawl maneuver.
Okay. Well, I'm not very good at that, so it makes a lot of sense. 51, so that's a failure.
Okay. So in attempting to like swat your hand away, the dude drops the hand. It's now on the floor. And we go to Max. What would you like to do?
Yeah, this here hypnotist magician fellow. He's some kind of vagrant. I'm sure he's also perverted in some ungodly way. So I'm going to proceed to try and tackle him to the ground to protect these young people.
Brilliant. So I'd like you to roll your fighting brawl as a maneuver.
A 21 is a pass.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so surprised.
All right. So you sock him and just take him into the ground. He hits his head. So you can roll your damage for me.
We have to reassess our feelings. Our feelings
2.
towards Mr. Fairbanks.
Brilliant.
I think he needs a raise. I think
So,
maybe another
When he
2%.
hits his head, Robert, you have a millisecond of clarity. And so you get to have a power roll to see if you can break out of this, much like Max did.
Okay. 39 out of 50.
Brilliant. You're like looking and you were salivating at this hand that's on the floor. And then you realize that's not fake. That's a real human hand.
Ugh.
Our friend is now very angry. And Max, you are the closest person to him, having tackled him onto the floor. And he's going to like claw at you as you're like lying on top of him.
I'll try to dodge, I guess. Oh, not with a 60 though.
So as he's like coming down, he's rolled a 100. He like manages to miss you entirely and just cut his own leg with his claw-like hands.
Oh.
And so he's gonna do a couple points of damage to himself. He's done a bit of damage to himself, but he's not dead. Wayne, what would you like to do?
So, if I'm picturing this correctly, the man's on the bottom, Max is on top of him.
Max has managed to roll off of him as a result of his catastrophic failure to attack Max.
The guy came up with his claws and stuck him into his own leg.
He's going to do this, and Max is like rolled off of him. He's just come down onto himself.
But he's still on the ground.
He's still prone on the ground, yes.
I am going to kick him in the face.
Brilliant. You get a bonus die to this action because you're standing up and he is prone.
Awesome.
$25. So that is an extreme, not extreme, a hard.
Oh.
Roll your damage.
Let's see what that would be. Plus damage bonus. Seven.
All right. As you sink your boot into this thing's skull, you hear a wet crack.
I didn't expect that.
This thing that had been smiling so gleefully this entire time, he loses his smile a little bit, and then he stops moving. And that rectangle of light that Della and Roy were heading towards, this rectangle starts to get a bit bigger and bigger, almost like a doorway opening. You can see through that doorway the fork in the road from where your troubles all began.
Della, go!
Get out!
Yeah, running.
I helped Mr. Fairbanks up. Yeah.
Thank you, Wayne.
Come on, Robert.
So,
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure Roy and Della are getting out.
everybody's getting out. Fantastic. So, sprinting through the door, you're greeted one last time with this really warm, comforting feeling. It sort of feels like the best booze you've ever drunk. Like on a real cold night and everyone's singing songs and it just goes and hits your body perfectly. And you all wake up sitting with your backs against a tree. There are brown paper bags with glass bottles in them strewn about. And you're back in, ostensibly, the real world. Your car's parked just a little way away. I'd like everybody to roll listen.
Can you repeat that?
We just
roll listen, please, Robert.
97.
03.
73.
Brilliant.
87. That's a fail.
9 out of 60. So that would be what, an extreme?
So, Della and Robert, you are keenly aware, as are the rest of the group with the resulting dust cloud, there's a car speeding towards the fork. It is absolutely going like the clappers, just zooming. And it comes past you guys. And you can hear this high-pitched laughter as you see the guy that was staying at this fork drive past you, howling with laughter, and he throws something at Roy. You're going to catch it? You're going to dodge it? What would you like to do?
I'm going to try and catch it.
All right, roll your dexterity.
Oh, 15! That might be extreme. I don't think so.
Extreme.
No, it's not. I'll use 4 luck to make it extreme.
Brilliant. Roy, you like full karate just snap catch it. And as the man drives off into the distance, a giant dust cloud twirling behind him, still laughing away like he's heard the funniest thing he's ever heard before. You open your hand and you see that in your hand is a small plectrum, a guitar pick. And on this guitar pick is a snake that has twisted itself into the treble clef. And you don't know why, but you feel like you'd be really, really good at guitar. Like, you're good, but now you are the best.
Oh man. Don't that look pretty? Don't that look pretty?
What's that got on there, Roy?
It's just a pick, Robbie. It's just a pick. It's a nice pick.
I swear I had a dream about that man. Why are we here?
Wayne, did you bring all this booze?
No, I didn't bring all this booze.
I think we need to look at that map again. We're going to be late for the radio.
I had the strangest dream. You were all in it too.
Was it a dream? Did we? So. Roy, did you make a bargain with the devil?
I don't think so, but
I think there was a Californian.
That makes a lot of sense.
Untrustworthy types.
That makes a lot of sense.
I don't know. You're a musician, and he just gave you some sort of the pick of power.
Wayne, you're not making
laughing.
Wayne, talking nonsense.
I mean, I've heard stories about people selling their souls to the devil, and him giving. You need to play something,
like
Roy,
that, Wayne.
See if you're suddenly extremely good.
You shouldn't talk like that, Wayne.
I mean,
it's not funny.
Miss Finch is right. Joking about the devil that's blasphemy.
Well, it's bad luck at the very least.
Business. None of that.
Well, where's our? Let me get everybody in the van truck.
Yeah, let's look at this map.
All right.
So, looking at the map, you see that there actually is a fork on this map, but it just sort of goes around a little set of trees and joins back onto the road, and then carries off into the distance. Don't know why you couldn't see it before. It's like plainly there.
Look at that, Rob. We just keep going.
All right, well, let's get this the show on the road.
Yeah.
So the rest of your drive to WAGM is uneventful. You arrive to the radio station just in the nick of time, and setting up and performing your show goes absolutely smoothly. And then right at the end, Roy, instead of playing the closer that you normally play with Della, you start to move your fingers to play it, but a different song comes out. And suddenly you're singing words that you didn't write. You're playing a completely different song. And that is where we'll end today's scenario.
That was fun. So that's the story.
That's fun. What a great introduction that would be if you had never played a TTRPG before. What a great introduction.
I'm afraid that last night we watched Nope. And when we were walking down that corridor, I was in that square little corridor. I couldn't get that.
I was thinking the same thing, Tom. I was like, we've been sucked up and
we're inside the belly of the beast.
Yeah. So you found basically everything. Congratulations. The long and the short of it is, it's all well and good to be an elder god, but if no one knows who you are, then you don't really have the influence. So from time to time, there are unlucky souls that are on a wayward journey that get co-opted into a grand illusion by none other than Nylathotep themselves. Whether you live, die, or go insane doesn't matter, so long as you know their name. And that is the entire point of the scenario. Fantastic.
And those are the words to Roy's song.
Was the light bulb
That's
anything?
great.
The light bulb. So this illusion spans all space and time. So if you're looking through the little corners or behind these barriers, there are different objects that have been left behind by other people that have gone through this. So you can find stuff that's super modern. You can find stuff that's from the Stone Age. There's just all sorts. There's a D10 table in the module, but you can really have it be anything.
I love that. I honestly thought it was a modern, high-efficiency light bulb when you said it was swirly, and I was like, "How cool of a touch!" That's very neat.
Our players included Morgan Llewellyn, Holly Buteau, Cody McInnes, Grady Williams, and myself with Riley Kruger as the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members, you can set up private games, and you can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Thom Raley, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.